Good morning. Welcome back or welcome to Yoga with Ciara. It's day 10 of Explore. It's a Sunday and my camera's working. I have the door open. It's so dark in the morning at the moment. It's really glorious. I love the dark, but I have the window open because yesterday we had a Wim Hof event. That's where people are jumping into ice baths and then doing hot tubs, but also doing sauna. So this room was really warm when I came into it this morning. So come, let's sit and meditate together, and then let's do a Sunday yum. And today again, we're going to be moving into that arching and rounding and finding different ways to do that in our Sunday yum. So come. So light your candle. As always, you don't have to light a candle. I love lighting a candle at the beginning of my practice. And some aromatherapy. Feel the cascade of sensations that happen when you smell your aromatherapy. Nice, and then just rubbing down, back, belly. Nice, and then sit. Just pause, arrive. Just notice this moment in your body. I'm very interested in the weight of me, but also in where my spine is. I have this, where is my spine? Where is my midline? Where is this sense of center of me? Lengthening your exhalation, really lengthening, stretching it out, slowing it down. Just another 40 seconds or so of meditation. We only do 2 minutes in the morning. Is that an easy thing or a hard thing for you to do? Yum. So I could stay there a long time now this morning. There was such a beautiful sense of midline and this pulsing vitality through the center of me, this sense of potency, wellness, vibrancy. Yum. So come stretch your legs out in front of you, or if you're sitting in a chair, just begin to roll into your ankles. And then roll in the other direction. Make fists out of your hands, roll your wrists. I'm stretching my toes wide and open as I roll my wrists, and then roll in the other direction. Open your toes wide, open your fingers wide, lift your eyebrows, open your eyes wide. Nice. And then squinch your eyebrows, squinch your fists, squinch your toes, and then open wide and squinch. Wide, squinch. Can you do opposites? Can something be doing something different? Can something be squinching while something is opening? Can you change the order of your squinching? Can you have a foot that's opening, a foot that's closing, a hand that's opening, a hand that's closing, an eyebrow that's lifting? Like, how would you multitask, squeezing and opening, toes and hands? How would you multitask? I have no order. I can't control the order. I can do open, close, open, close, open, close, but I couldn't decide what order to do it in. That's very interesting. Nice. Roll your shoulders in a big circle. As you roll your shoulders, feel your shoulder blades gliding and feel your spine beginning to awaken and arise. Nice. Roll in the other direction, rolling a big circle. So again, sitting on a floor is already challenging your spine into wellness, into strength, already challenging your legs. So if you have a floor at home, get sitting on your floor. So we're going to twist. So if you're sitting in a chair, you can stay in your chair. Otherwise, twist your chest towards the left and bring your right hand to the outside of your left knee. Nice. Twist in the other direction. Left hand to the outside of your right. Nice. So we're going to dive and swan here, and then we're going to come to lie down. So reach your arms up towards the ceiling, pull your elbows down into swan. So as I pull my elbows down into swan, my chest is lifted forward. And then reach your arms up and then dive towards your feet. Nice, rising up. Swan, pull your elbows down. Rising up, dive forward slowly. Make a really roundy spine as you come forward. Only go as far as the strength of your spine feels comfortable with. Pull your elbows down and then diving forward. Listen to your spine. Swan and dive. One more time. Swan, pause there. Pulling your elbows down into swan, lift your chest, even push your chest forward into the space straight in front of you. Nice. Rise through your arms, dive. Let your hands rest whatever they are and keep your back rounded. So you're filling backwards into your spine like you're doing a rounded cat. Sometimes when we do this, we lift our chest and lift our head so that our chest is moving forward. We're not doing that here. We're rounding. So our head is coming down towards our thighs, towards our pelvis. Spine is moving backwards. The dive. Nice. Rising up and come lie on the floor. So as you land on the floor, listen to your spine. So we were seated there for a while. We were moving our spine. So when you lie down now, there will be a deep sense of your spine emerging. Nice. Knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor, elbows are resting on the floor. Drop both knees slowly down towards the right. Let your breath travel deeply down into your belly. Nice. Come back up to center. Drop your knees down towards the left. Pause there. Nice. And then just travel from side to side. Knees drop right, center, knees drop left, center, knees drop right. And as I travel, I'm feeling a sense of continuity in the way that the weight rolls from the left side of my body all the way to the right side of my body. There's a feeling of a massaging sense of the back of my body. Nice. Moving into gliders. Both knees drop down towards the right, and then glide the left knee up in the direction of the right shoulder. Come all the way back to center. Both knees to the right, or left, and then draw the right knee up towards the left shoulder. And back. And so as you travel from side to side, notice the sensations that emerge. So I can feel the 4 yoga classes that I taught this week in the deep of my hips there. It's like I feel really groany in the back of my hips, in the deep of my buttock. It's really powerful teaching 4 yoga classes. Like, yeah, it feels like I feel like I'm going through this incredible transformational process of re-engaging with something that is really specific. It's very, very profound. Nice. So as you travel from one side to the other side, what changes in your hips? So now I'm like, wow, that's so amazing how that sensation of the beginning is transforming itself, is changing, it's changing. There is change happening. Nice. Come all the way back to center. So I'm really noticing at the moment how I put my shoes on, and depending on what shoe, I adapt the angle of where my knee travels. So draw your right knee up towards your right shoulder and reach your right hand down and touch the inside of your right ankle. So my hand is touching the heel of my foot, inside of my ankle, and my knee is to the outside of my elbow. Nice. And then stretch your right arm overhead and stretch your right leg long. Bring your right hand to the inside of your right ankle. Draw your foot up as high as you can towards you. So my arm isn't reaching. My arm is just floating down as I draw my knee up really firmly towards my shoulder. And my knee is outside of my arm. And then again, reach your arm overhead. Lengthen through your right leg. Lengthen through your right arm. And again, bring your right hand to the inside of your right ankle, and maybe you hold on either to your ankle, to the heel, and keep your heel low. So usually what we do here is we come up into happy baby, because I want to really just feel, oh, my heel is towards my thigh, my buttock as such, and I'm pausing here, and I'm drawing my knee up towards my shoulder a little bit more, also pulling my knee in towards my elbow. Let your left leg travel and away from left to right. So what movement is possible as you roll the left foot towards the big toe side of your leg or foot and the baby toe side of your foot? Big toe side, baby toe side. So my foot stays on the floor, but it's rolling from one side to the other. Nice. Now lift the left foot off the floor and draw the biggest circle that you can with the left knee. I'm going slowly because I have to organize that the right knee is safe and the right hip is steady and that I'm still holding on to my foot. So there's some kind of organization that's taking my cognitive function or my somatic function or my nervous system attention. So I can't just go willy-nilly. What a great word. Willy-nilly with my knee. And then she went willy-nilly with her knee. Oh, so funny. Great. Bring your left foot to the floor, bring your right foot to the floor, and drop your knees down towards the right. Pause there. I wonder where the phrase willy nilly comes from. I'm sure somebody will tell me. If somebody knows, tell me. Drop your knees down to the left. Pause there. And then back up to center. So draw your left knee up to the outside of your left shoulder and reach down and hold on to your left heel or touch your left heel, left ankle on the inside. And so the boots that I wear in the morning have a zip down through the inside of the calf or the inside of the ankle. So this is the action of opening the boot. And then stretch your arm overhead, stretch your leg long. Nice. Bring your left knee up. Imagine that you just pull down the zipper. To get my boot on is a different action, but coming off, this is what I was doing. And then lengthen your arm overhead, lengthen your leg long. Nice. Left leg, left arm. Hold on to your heel and let your knee bend deeply. Let your knee travel up towards your left shoulder on the outside. I'm holding on either to the ankle or to the heel. And then let your right leg wave from left to right. So I roll onto the baby toe side, roll onto the big toe side, and I have to coordinate my balance as I do this. Or even just like, what kind of a movement is this in my body and how do I do this? So always learning new things is really interesting for our bodies. Nice. Now draw a big circle with your right knee. Remember, no willy-nilly with your knee. And really circle deeply. So those of you from other countries, just to explain, willy-nilly is if you do something where you like if you set the table and what you did was you just threw the cutlery down. That's a willy-nilly setting of the table. It's like no attention to order or form or function. It's more just that the job was done, but not with attention. And then change direction of that right knee, going steady. Nice. Both feet to the floor. Pause. And then both feet push down, roll up along your spine. So lifting up, push your hips forward up towards the ceiling. And really have a sense of I'm not challenging my neck and shoulders. I'm challenging my hips and my pelvis. So I'm choosing where the load is traveling to. I don't need to stretch or I don't need to strain my neck. I want to really deepen into the front of my hips. And I can find that I can deepen into the front of the hips wherever I am because I can engage that kind of Spider Woman engagement thing again. So it's like where I create a sense of length and connection into the part of my body that I'm moving. It's like I contract or I connect. I become really powerful into my legs and into my pelvis as I roll up and down along my spine. I have a sense of power, in my legs, power in my feet, a sense of, connectivity through the torso. How would you roll up and down in a powerful, steady way, leaning into the front of your hips, the front of your pelvis? And as you roll down, can you roll down with great dexterity and subtlety? Can the roll down be really scoopy and rolly? Nice, and then pause. So bring your hands to the front of your ribs and then lift your ribs and inflate your ribs into your hands, like your ribs are trying to follow your hands up towards the ceiling. And when I do that, it's like I've done a back arch, but it's also including the ribs behind me. Try and lift your ribs as high as you can. So my bum is on the floor, my shoulders are on the floor, my head is on the floor. And because my hands are on my ribs, my arms are floating a little bit off the floor, which feels actually really nice. So all I have is soles of my feet, my bum, the tops of my shoulders as such, and the back of my head. And I'm lifting my ribs as up towards the ceiling as I can. Nice. And now pull your ribs as close to the floor as you can. So really pull, so I'm pulling my ribs down. So the place that I'm holding with my hands is disappearing into me, okay? It's like, it's like watching fruit sink into a cake. So lift your ribs as high and up as you can. I have this sense of expanding my diaphragm, expanding the flaring lower ribs, the floating ribs. And I'm going to try and lift expand into my chest, expand into the lower back. How would I expand the back and the front of me to really lift my ribs as high as I can? And then pull your ribs deeply backwards. Nice. And then keeping your hands on your lower ribs, lift your ribs, keep the focus on the ribs, and then drop your ribs. So the place that you're holding is where the orientation of the movement is. So it's a higher pelvic tilt than what we usually do. It's a spinal tilt. Lift your ribs and drop your ribs. Notice how your head is included in the movement. Lift your ribs. Drop. So when I drop, my head is like really moved by what happens. As I drop my ribs, my chin lifts. My head looks upwards even. One more time. Lift your ribs and drop your ribs. Super. So bring your right foot to rest on top of the left knee. And then lift your ribs and drop your ribs. And what we're feeling is that how I lift my ribs and arch my back affects the stretch into the buttock on the right. Lift your ribs, drop your ribs. And then flatten backwards, lift your foot off the floor and draw your left knee up towards you. And that's going to pull the right side up as well. And then just rock from side to side and keep your ribs pulled backwards as you rock from side to side. So now I'm really drawing, so my hands are staying on the lower ribs. And the intention here is keep my ribs moving backwards. So I'm pulling, it's like my ribs are sinking into me. Nice, change. Both feet to the floor. Draw your left foot up to the top of the right knee. Lift your ribs. Drop your ribs. Lift your ribs. Oh, it's interesting. This is a little bit more, there's a trickiness to it. I'm feeling a disconnect in my head actually when I do this. I can feel that I floated away a little bit as I did it. Interesting. Nice. So lift your right foot off the floor and then sink your ribs as deeply as you can into yourself and then rock your knees from side to side. What happens in your body as you sink your ribs backwards? What's that feeling like? Nice. Bring both feet to the floor, drop your arms wide. You can bring the soles of your feet together if you wish. Notice where your ribs are. Have they risen towards the ceiling or are they moving backwards? So naturally, as soon as I bring the soles of my feet together, my ribs will widen and lift because that will arch my back, which will move me out of the tightness of my hips. So I'm just going to ever so gently contain my ribs backwards. And straight away, I'm going to feel more of a sense of connection through the pelvis and legs. So just draw your ribs deeply backwards and just pause there. Breathing deeply, connecting. That was really yummy. I feel like that was a wonderful way to spend a Sunday morning. Um, so remember, no willy-nilly knees. I think it's so funny sometimes, some of the words we use, some of the phrases that are spoken. I will see you all tomorrow, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And just to say, for December, the journey that we're going to go on is called Glimmer. And so glimmers are actually a really interesting thing. Glimmers are it's now in the somatic trauma informed nervous system new psychology thing, body embodiment. Glimmers are where there's moments in your day, bright and shiny moments in your day that can be really tiny, but what they are is they're moments that that have sparked joy in you, that have informed you that, oh, I feel safe right now, and this thing that I'm doing inspires safety in me, or oh, this thing, I feel really connected when I do this thing, or when I see this thing or this person. And so it's a way, an attitude that when we look at the deep, dark, black sky of the night, that we find the glimmers of the stars in the night. And also we find the glimmers in our life, things that bring joy and safety and connection. And they're just a huge amount of tiny things that we will gather and connect to over December. So nice. I'll see you all tomorrow. Be well. Ciao.